Sometimes it's the people you meet around town, the ones who sparkle with a kind of inner truth that draw you in. You sense there's a story behind the smile, a deeper current running just beneath the surface. That's how I felt about today's guest. I'd run into Jonathan here and there, catching glimpses of his world through conversation and his performance. But I never knew his story until now. Jonathan Long, also known as the dazzling Lady Chilane, has led a life defined by courage, creativity, and a relentless search for self-discovery. From growing up in Tennessee and performing as an Elvis impersonator to discovering his true voice as a drag performer and entertainer, Jonathan has experienced both darkness and light, always guided by a strong sense of purpose and by an inner faith. In today's Driftwood Conversation, we discuss abandonment, survival, chosen family, drag, Buddhism, and what it means to come home to yourself. It's raw, it's funny, and it's vulnerable. And I'm honored to share it with you. Hello, Jonathan. Jonathan, how are you today?
I'm doing well, Hillary. How are you?
I'm good. Okay, give me a little background. You're living in Joshua Tree.
I'm living in Joshua Tree now, yeah. I'm originally from Tennessee, from Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Oh, I love Chattanooga.
Yeah, that's where I'm originally from. Actually, I grew up about 30 minutes outside of Chattanooga. If anyone has ever heard of the National Cornbread Festival, that's the town that I'm from. It's where they make the cast iron skillets.
Oh, nice.
Lodge cast iron. That's what the town's known for, other than me.
And why are you notorious?
Well, my stage name is Lady Chilane, as you know, and I'm a drag queen and entertainer, and I've been performing for many years now.
Did you start in Tennessee?
I did start in Tennessee. Actually, I started out not as a drag queen. I started out as an Elvis impersonator. I was such a huge Elvis fan, it ran in my family. I actually ran an Elvis fan club too. I would go to Memphis twice a year. January for his birthday, and August in remembrance of when he passed. I was doing Elvis for a long time there, and even performed at that Cornbread Festival that I mentioned about earlier. I performed at the very first one that they did as Elvis, out on the street, people eating cornbread.
Sounds great. I'd actually love to know.
Yeah. Then, I think 2007, I thought it was Halloween, and I thought I'm going to go out and drag. And I'd met who became my drag mother at the time. We worked together at a craft store, and thought I would go out and drag, and it got well received. And I thought, well, let me start entering in some talent shows and stuff. And the very first talent show I entered into, I went out and performed Where the Boys Are by Connie Francis. I won, and I didn't do talent nights very often, or didn't do very many talent nights after that, because I got hired on a cast.
Talent nights?
Talent nights. I'm from the South. Talent nights.
Okay, gotcha.
And so, yes. I think I only did it a couple of times, and then I got hired on at a local bar to start performing on the weekends. And so that's when it began.
How did your family react to this? Did they?
Well, my mom didn't like it. She never came to see me perform, although I wish she had. But she did get to see me one time. For whatever reason, I was getting ready at her house, and she was gone. I was getting ready for a show. She was gone, but she came home. And when she came home, I was all done up. And she kept looking at me, and then she was like, all she could say was, "Don't you think that dress is a little too short?" And I said, "No, Mom, that's what they like. That's how I make my money." And then she's like, "Well, let me grab the camera." And then she took a photo. And that was it. But so she didn't really like it. And when I retired a little bit, I have a son. He's 22 now, but he was really young when I started out. And as he got a little older, he got teased a lot in school. So I retired for a bit. I didn't do it for a little while. But then when he became an adult, it was time for me to continue to do it. So I'm back.
When we were talking about this podcast, you said to me, I want to tell my story.
Yeah.
So I want to hear your story.
You want to hear my story?
Yeah.
Well, we can start in 2020 if you want, because that's what brought me to the desert. I'm actually in the middle of writing my story right now for a local Live from Joshua Tree thing that I'm going to be sharing my story with. So I am turning that into a book about my life because I want to share it. I want to share the story. So, but in 2020, as you well know, with the pandemic and all that, it was a low point. It was a very dark point. I felt stuck in Tennessee. I couldn't, my mom passed away in January, and I had moved into her house, and I didn't want to live there, and my family was giving me issues over the house and all that. And so I couldn't find a way out. I felt like they were trying to trap me there, and I just couldn't see a way out. So honestly, I was just asking the universe to take me out. Let me just fade away, because if I can't live the life I want, why should I be here? What's the point of being here?
Clarify a few things. Who is your family? Are you connected at all to your son's mother?
No, not really, no. When I mentioned family, I was talking about my sister and brother,
okay,
who I'm not close with at all, obviously. So that's why there's tension there. But I am close to my son, but I'm not close to his mom. I don't keep in contact with her, although I wish her well.
So go ahead.
Yeah. So, I was just hoping for a way out, and I have strong faith. I've practiced Buddhism since I was 16, so the mid-90s. I found Buddhism, and I started chanting, and I've chanted for years now. And so through that, I feel I was chanting, I was meditating, working with the universe, because I really needed a way out. And so through that gave me the strength to pull myself up. And then I landed here in California in the high desert. And things have just been amazing since I've been here. I mean, the doors have just opened up, and I'm so grateful to be here, and the people that I've come in contact with, that I've worked with, and it's just been great. So, but that was the start of it, because I was tired of it. I was tired of living that life of just existing. That's all I was doing, existing. I was not living at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then go deeper. What else? What else do you want to say about your story?
Wow, how far do you want to go back? I mean, we
go back to the beginning.
All the way back to the beginning. I mean, my dad left me in the early 90s. He was big into country music, which is where I get my music from. And
was he a musician?
No, he was a bar owner. He actually owned Hank Williams Sr.'s old house in Nashville, Tennessee in the 80s, and ran a bar out of it. And so I would go to Nashville on occasions with him, and he would take me around to all of the celebrities' homes. So I would go, not meet these celebrities, but I would go to their house. Dolly. I mean, who else? I mean, all the old country singers. There was Dolly, Porter Wagner, just all the old country, Grand Ole Opry stars. He would just pull up to their house. One night we went to Tanya Tucker's house, and she was out on the porch smooching her boyfriend at the time. And I guess they thought I just wanted to get out and take a photo of her house like a fan would at 12 years old. I guess her boyfriend didn't like it.
So you went to Tanya Tucker's house?
Yeah, to Tanya Tucker's house. He took me by there one night, I remember, and I wanted to get out and take a photo. She was on the porch with her boyfriend. They were smooching or whatever, and I guess they thought we were paparazzi, and they chased us out. So that, and I was a big Patsy Cline fan, too, so.
Let me ask you something, if I may, deeper. Mm-hmm. You said your father left you, mm-hmm. not the family or your mother, but you. Mm-hmm. Is that what it felt like?
Yes. Yeah. It was abandonment.
Okay.
Yeah. And I've dealt with abandonment issues since then.
How does the rest of your family feel? I mean, I'm assuming he left the house completely.
Well, he never lived with us.
Oh.
And my brother and my sister don't have the same dads.
Oh, okay.
And so he never lived with us, but he would come through. He would come in on a Sunday evening. And I remember one night I was waiting, looking out the window, because he would come down the back alley. And I was waiting, looking out the window, and he never came. Mm-hmm. And that was it. Never heard from him again. And it took me probably until 2016 to find out what happened to him. And that was through Ancestry.com on the website. I found some relatives.
What did happen to him?
He had cancer, and he died in 2022, which is the same year my son was born. So he died a couple of months before my son was born.
Oh, 2020.
I'm sorry, 2002. Jeez, 2002. Yeah.
Okay, your son was born in 2002.
Yeah.
And that's when your father died. When did he leave you, and how old were you?
I was 12 or 13. So it was early 90s, 92.
Okay. So he might have been sick at that point.
He could have been.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I did talk. I actually got to speak with his mom, my grandmother, on the phone. She wanted to meet. I chose not to because they live in Georgia, and I could tell we don't have anything in common, and I don't want to open that door for any of that. I chose not to, and she passed not long after that. Maybe I should have went, but I just didn't feel like I wanted to open myself up to any more crap. It was rough being in the South and being who I am.
So I just asked Jonathan permission to talk about very personal things, and he gave it to me. Mm-hmm. And I asked him if he was gay, and you said...
I am.
Okay, and that...
Gay as a picnic basket.
Well, that puts a color on living in the South.
Yes.
What you do. Mm-hmm. I'm assuming there might be performers that dress up that are not.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay, because I don't know that world.
Yeah.
Okay, so that would color everything. Did your father know you were gay?
No. Well, he may have thought. What 12-year-old walks around with a Patsy Cline t-shirt on?
Who knows? I mean, especially these days.
So gay.
That's so funny.
But I mean, he took off. But I would be in my bedroom. I never would listen to CDs or cassette tapes, which is what was popular at the time. I was always vinyl records. It's all I wanted to play and still do. So I would be in my room playing those records, singing to them, performing, always performing.
There is amazing creative talent out here.
There is.
Did you know that before you came out?
I did not. I thought I was going to end up in Palm Springs, but I ended up here. I let the universe guide me, and the universe landed me here for a reason, and I see now why.
How did that show up?
What's that?
That the universe guides you. I've had very physical things happen. Mm-hmm. Cars break down, people show up. I mean, how did you know that you were going to be up in the high desert opposed to Palm Springs?
Well, I didn't know that until I got here. But when I got here, things started unfolding. I started hosting drag bingo, and then I got all these opportunities started flowing my way. So when you're in alignment like that, that's how things happen. Right. That's how you manifest. You stay in alignment, you discard the crap, and the people, because that's the thing. You'll be surprised people who will try to stop you. So.
Not surprising.
Yeah, and I've come across that.
Let's go back to your youth. Mm-hmm. Did you have friends in Tennessee that supported you?
I did. I had a small circle of friends that supported me. In drag, you mean specifically? Or just supported me as a person?
As a person.
I did, yeah. I had my close friends that I would hang out with. I did have some support, but it was never from family. Ever.
Do you think you had a harder time because it was the South, or it wouldn't have mattered?
I think the South played a big part in it. It still does. I mean, they just banned, or a few years ago, they banned drag queens for performing in public. I haven't kept up with it, but... and that was right after I moved. Right after I left Tennessee, they banned drag queens from performing in public.
And it may get more difficult.
Yeah, I think so too.
So we're very, very lucky that we're out here.
Yes.
It's an amazing place.
I'm grateful to be here every minute.
Now tell me, you said you studied Buddhism. Mm-hmm. How did you come across Buddhism?
Tina Turner.
That's funny.
And that's a whole story, if you want to hear it.
Yes.
Yeah, so from being an Elvis fan, I think I was about 15 years old. I rented the VHS, What's Love Got to Do with It? The movie. I wasn't a Tina fan. In fact, I thought she scared me a little bit with her wild hair in the 80s. Right when I was really young, I thought, wow, But her story inspired me so much. And then when I learned her practice in Buddhism and what she did, I thought, well, I'll try it. Let me see if it changed her life. She's from Tennessee. She's from the Deep South. If it changed her life, let me see if it can change mine. So I started chanting, and I noticed things changing.
What kind of things did you notice?
I noticed that I felt different about certain things. For example, when I first started chanting really young, having to deal with my mom, that helped. That helped me maintain a calmness, and it helped me to manifest, getting out of the house at an early age and getting out on my own.
So you must have been making money somewhere. Was it
just working jobs? Yeah,
regular, and not feeling victimized by it.
No, I just knew I wanted out, and I wanted to be on my own. Yeah, I still chant today. It's a strong belief, strong feeling.
What would you tell somebody in your situation? I mean, right now there's going to be a lot of kids searching for their identity, and a lot of negativity hindering them from finding it even. What would you tell them?
Don't ever let anyone tell you who you are. I've had my whole life people try to tell me who I am, and I would listen to them. But as I got older, stopped listening to them. Don't listen to people like that. You know who you are. I know who I am. And you follow that little voice, your intuition. It's always there. If you can go within and do that first, you can handle what's coming, is what I'm trying to say. So these people, young, gay, lesbian, trans, people who are looking for their identity and to who they are, go within. That's where it begins.
What are you doing now? You said you're writing a book and you're performing. Where do you see that going?
Well, I see wherever the universe is leading me is how I see it. I do want to share my story, so I'm in the process of writing that book, and in the meantime, I'm doing shows all over the high desert. I don't know. I want to go as far as that the universe is wanting to take me, and where that will be, I don't know. But I have strong faith and trust.
With your practice, with your Buddhist practice, how do you interpret goals? And do you have goals, or do you just kind of float with it?
I do both. So I believe through the Buddhist faith and chanting, it helps to manifest the goals into reality. I do have, I have goals. I want to put out an album. I want to record an album. Once I have those goals in mind or an idea in mind, chanting helps with that. I don't know. It sort of helps with maintaining the energy and the goal and putting out that energy into the universe is how I like to see it. Because I don't just do Buddhist chanting, but I do meditation and manifesting, those ways too. Full moons and stuff, So I like to mix it all.
Ritual,
absolutely.
Yeah. It's lovely.
I enjoy it. It helps me and it makes me feel good.
I always find that there's got to be a balance, though, between goals. I mean, once I've decided that I'm doing something like this podcast, then I maybe block out a whole very loose structure of where I want to be by a certain time. And then I sit back and start doing it and then accept whatever comes.
Yeah. I would like to have management at some point so they could help me with that, or an assistant, somebody who could help me with that, with, lining all that up. Because it's hard to do it all on your own, creating shows or putting events together,
It's very
it's
difficult.
A lot. I mean, when we had the Pride Ball back in June, huge success, but there's no way I could have done that on my own. It took such a huge effort with everybody, So.
Yeah, it's really community, and you have community here.
This community has accepted me and welcomed me here. I was not expecting that, and it makes me feel really good and loved, and I'm grateful for it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
You've said a few times you want to tell your story. What else? Tell me more.
Where do you want to go with it?
Anywhere.
Because it could be anywhere. I mean, I know one important part that is going to be in the book that I have not talked about publicly. In the early 90s, my mom was in a really bad relationship with a man, and he hired a hitman to kill us.
Wow.
And so I've been dealing with that. Luckily, he was not successful, obviously. And in fact, this guy was so dumb that he hired an undercover cop
Oh, God.
in a bar. So I've always been protected. I know that. The universe, I have angels and spirit guides that walk with me. So I know I'm always highly, highly protected. But boy, does that not do something to a 10-year-old?
How are your brother and sister taking this? Did they know about it?
Oh, yeah. Well, my sister was there. My brother wasn't. He was older. Yeah.
So he was out of the family house.
But my sister was still there. We all went through that together.
And so the policeman, obviously it didn't get dangerous because the policeman
Correct.
was already involved in it.
Yeah, and then he ended up going to jail. But
The guy, not the policeman.
Right. Yeah. The man. And but he shot through our house.
Oh.
Yeah. He went to my mom's work, and when she came out, she worked third shift at this time. And when she came out that morning, every tire was slashed, every window was beaten out of the car. I mean, he really terrorized us big time. And so I feel like some of that really affected me a lot as a kid, because how could it not? I mean, it was a lot to go through. And so, but luckily he was put in jail and never heard from again. My sister did hear from him.
Oh,
many
my God.
years later.
That's frightening.
Yeah, but I never did. But he terrorized me so bad. There was one time my mom swapped out mailboxes, right? Remember, I'm a kid, and I'm a little gay kid, so can I have the old mailbox? I want to paint it and make it whatever. I painted it, went next door to see my aunt, she lived next door. Went to visit her, and when I came back, he had wrote fat ass on the side of the mailbox. And my mom, she never did anything about it, and he would kick me wearing cowboy boots. I was glad that he was good.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Now, that's horrible.
It was horrible.
Did you ever get therapy or anything?
No.
Just
I feel like my faith is, in music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw a film recently. I can't remember the name or the whole thing, but it was about Dolly Parton and the faith in her music.
Yeah.
Had this character come through this really hard time. So, yeah, I can't hold a tune, so music isn't...
That's why I'm a lip singer, right? That's why I'm a drag queen. That's, so I can still go out and do the songs, but not necessarily singing them.
Oh, I didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty intense childhood.
Yeah.
Skip that experience next time.
Well, I mean, it's part of the story, right? So I do want to share it all, so that's part of it. So
even during that time, what resource did you have at 10 years old? Your mother obviously didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Did your aunt?
My aunt was my salvation. 'Cause, she sometimes was more like a mom to me in a lot of ways. So yeah, she did provide me a bit of a safe space, but it was still, she would still side with my mom a lot. But my mom just had me later in life, and she let me know I was a mistake. She told me that I was never supposed to be born, but I don't believe that now.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. How about school? How was your education?
I hated school. I was not a school person because I was bullied so badly in school. I had that whole Elvis thing going, right? I wasn't a drag queen. I was an Elvis impersonator that young. Remember, I was really young when I did it. I would get made fun of a lot for the whole Elvis thing. They would always call me, hey, Elvis, or tease me about it, So, but that was my outlet, was always music and performing. Even if it was in my bedroom, performing was my outlet. Entertaining.
So it's also creative sources. Mm-hmm. Created from everybody I've been talking to, there's some source of resilience, and often it comes out in a creative way.
It does. Yeah. And I feel like I channel that energy. I can rehearse a song for a month, but when I go out on stage, the energy gets channeled through and the performance just comes out. And it's a whole, I don't know how to really explain it. It's just an energy thing for me, and I channel it through my performances.
I think that's really important. I think artists that I've really admired have talked about that. Mm-hmm. I've felt it in different works at times. Mm-hmm. One day I was at the Modern Museum. There was a Picasso's Guernica. And I just sat there and looked at it.
Yeah.
And you realize the energy that comes out of that piece is so much more than the technical.
Mm-hmm.
And Picasso always talked about you've got to learn the technical. That way you don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
I think sometimes in modern times we tend to want to shortcut that.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
And the energy can be there, but when you have both, when you've practiced for a month,
Mm-hmm.
when you know your audience, when you've done your research, when you've studied,
Yeah.
then that energy, because you relax too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And it all comes out on stage.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's often mirrored back to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I get the energy from the audience. So,
Right.
Just a few weeks ago at the Joshua Tree Music Festival, I did drag bingo, but I came out and did a song. I did a Cher song when I first came out. The energy was amazing. And so when that energy is out there, it gets thrown back to me on stage. And when I feel that energy, it lifts me up even higher. And I mean, we could go all night when it's a good crowd, A lot of fun.
it is fun.
Yeah.
Another person I just interviewed, who's very young actually, he's 30, and he started a nonprofit, and he's talking about when you do what really feels good for you, when you're doing what you're called to be doing, you could go all night.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Some people know the assignment. I believe, this is my belief, that we know when we're born, before we're born, that what we're coming here to be, who we're going to be. Once we're born, people make us forget who we truly are. And it's our job to remember. As I always say, it's the art of remembering who we really are and what we came here to be. Because you get distracted by other people and life in general. People forget. So I know that I came here to be an entertainer. I've always known that. So I just stay focused on that goal and determination of entertaining.
That's so interesting. I don't think I knew that I had a career like that. Not until I found this, which has only been in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
But I knew me in ways other people couldn't see. I knew that I could perceive things and see things differently. And I wasn't going to lose that.
Yeah.
There were times I'd forget, periods of time that I'd go through something and not remember it, but then it would come back. And as long as I started to look for that truth again, I was going to be fine.
Yeah, absolutely. And I went many years of forgetting who I was. But really, honestly, in the back of my head, I always knew,
Right.
why am I not out doing this? Why am I not out, living my dreams, performing and entertaining the crowd? Like I told Jeff, my duet partner, Jeff the Beauty Bubble, the energy's a little low right now for a lot of people. And so I reminded him this is why we come out and perform. It's to raise the energy and spread the light, to people. And people come up and tell us that all the time after the shows. That's why they come to see it. Because that's what we do. And I reminded him of that. When you know what you're meant to do, then you just follow that.
What else do you want to talk about from your story? I just think of you being an influence for young people. Teaching them or even talking about, because you might not be in direct contact, not to be like you, but to find something that brings peace to them.
Yes.
I think that is really important. And to listen to their own voices. They may never do anything like you. They may not have the inclinations you have. But they can learn from you. And I think what you are showing to me is courage.
Well, thank you. I mean, I suppose it does, take a little bit of courage.
A little bit of courage.
I know.
And I think this is really important. We don't know that we're displaying courage.
Right.
Like, I tried to please people for a very long time, and nothing worked.
No.
And I had a lot of resistance, even to doing this. Not this specifically, but
every time I tried something, I would get resistance from people. And something inside of me said, I've got to do this. And I kept doing it and doing it and doing it and dragging myself sometime. You're going to go in there. You're going to do it. No, yes. That's courage.
It is.
And I never thought of it like that. And sometimes I'd say, this is insane. This isn't courage. This is insane.
Yeah.
It isn't until it began to reveal itself. What I do, what I love. I love talking to people. I love talking to people that think differently than I do.
That's how you learn.
That's how you learn, breaking out of my bubble. And I realize now, as this is starting to happen, the podcast is happening, and I'm writing and speaking, it's affecting everything. I'm not crawling around anymore.
Right, because you're doing it. You're doing what you want to do, and you're not suppressing it anymore. That's where a lot of people get stuck, is because they let circumstances or whatever interfere, or other people try to stop them. And I did for a long time. And I keep going. I'm a Sagittarius, now in Sagittarius season going into it. And I mean, this year alone has been it's been rough a little bit. I was homeless for a few months. I had to live in my car earlier this year, and it was not easy. I'm proud of myself for doing it. I felt, wow, I'm a queen in my car. It proved that I was strong to do it, that I had the strength to encourage to do it. So you talk about courage. That took courage. It took a lot of courage.
I've had moments of that too over the course of my life. And I think I had resources I didn't even know I had until I got into those situations. And then people showed up and put me up. Got to do some couch surfing, and they were incredible situations. Certainly not as hard as, what I might see in homeless people, but tough.
It is. And it certainly changes your perspective when you're in that position. Not that I'm saying that I went around and judged people who were homeless. I certainly didn't do that. But once you're in that position, you certainly have a more empathetic feeling and understanding.
And I think we do have to have empathy. But, homelessness is a very difficult topic. You know, I wouldn't even know how to begin to really search that. I think some of us who are privileged, even if we've had experiences, particularly privileged to be out of that, don't really understand it at all.
Right. No.
And we might want to try to fix or help somebody. And I don't know if that's the best course. Although I would have a hard time turning down a chance to help somebody if it was presented.
Yeah.
How did you get out of being homeless?
I stayed in my car for 2 months, and then my friend, she went out on tour, so I went and stayed at her house while she was gone for the summer. And then I finally got lined up with a place right here. So, it all worked out, but those few months, I never felt afraid because I knew that it was working out.
Well, what resources did you have? Did you eat? Did you buy canned food? I mean, how did you live in your car?
Yeah, well, a friend at the time was, they had a little camper trailer. There was no room for me and my cat. So that's why I stayed in the car with the cat. But the cat would stay in the camper trailer while I was gone. But there was a grill there.
Okay.
And so I had that. But I did eat out a lot, unfortunately, which I didn't want to do. But it was easier, because as you very well know, the winds around here, they're no joke. You can't keep a propane thing going outside when the wind's crazy. So I had to eat out a lot. But that was 2 months. It went in full moon cycles, seriously. And then my friend went out on tour, and then that allowed me time to find a place too. And then this place lined up. So
it wasn't just about money. It was really about finding accommodations.
Yeah.
That's important too, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still difficult, and with the housing shortage, people are facing some of that. Yeah, well, I'm glad you got a place.
Well, I am too. Thank you. I'm glad to finally be settling down now because living that way was an experience, like I said, and it'll be a great chapter in the book.
Yeah.
Because that's how I did it. Or looked at it. I looked at it as an experience, the journey, right? This is part of the journey, and I made the most of it.
I bet your cat's happy. Cats don't so much like to be moved around.
Yeah. She doesn't like to travel, but she's very loyal to me. So she did all right in the car. I mean, because I was with her, but she did all right. But she doesn't like to travel. When the car starts moving, even if the car's started but not moving, she just meows like crazy. She does not like a vehicle. So she's happy now. When I left earlier, she was all like this in the bed.
People can't see that, but cuddled up.
Yeah, cuddled up in the bed. Nice and warm.
Yeah. Well, great. So there's a whole new life for you happening right now.
There is, and I'm grateful for the journey and just staying on course and staying focused on it.
Well, good.
Thanks.
We'll have to check back with you.
Yeah. I do have one wig that he did that is very fun. It has flowers in it, and it's really big.
So Jeff you pronounce his last name? Hafler.
Yeah.
Jeff Hafler at the Beauty Bubble.
The Beauty Bubble.
Which is a pretty famous place, actually.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. They made a documentary about that place.
They did.
Yeah. And it's still doing film festivals, too. So I'm very lucky to have him in my life. We became instant friends the moment we met. And walking into the Beauty Bubble was like walking into my bedroom as a teenager, except it wasn't hair. My stuff was, when you would walk into my bedroom as a teenager, it was wall-to-wall Elvis. It was like a museum. That's another thing that upset my mom. I took my bed out of my bedroom, and she got so upset. And I'm like, because I need the space. I can sleep on the floor. I had an Elvis collection. I mean, it was big. And so I took the bed out of the bedroom and set up all this Elvis stuff.
Yeah, I can see Mom's.
She didn't like that.
I do want to explain the Beauty Bubble one more. Is that it is filled floor to ceiling with memorabilia, hair memorabilia,
dating back to centuries. I mean, everything. And it's an active salon. You can get your hair done Thursday.
Yes, as I do.
Yay. I do too, actually.
Well, great. I would love to see the shows, and I wish you all the best with it. Your new house.
Thank you. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for all that. I'm grateful for all the wonderful things that are coming my way. That's how I feel.
Good.
Thank you.
Jonathan Long isn't just a performer. He's a presence, a reminder that we all carry stories, some loud, some quiet, that shape how we show up in the world. I've seen Jonathan perform with a kind of honesty that lingers in the air. I've also sat across from him in silence, knowing there was more beneath the surface than words could ever tell. What I heard in this conversation, and what I hope you heard too, isn't just a life lived out loud, but a life force listened to. Thank you, Jonathan, for sharing your voice, your rhythm, and your rawness. And thank you all for listening to Driftwood Conversations. Until next time, stay open to the music beneath the noise. And a special thanks to AHA Projects for its support of this episode.
Yay! Welcome to Tuesday, everyone. Our 2-year anniversary show of Tuesday.
How exciting.
Yeah, we did a medley. We've never done a 3-song medley to open the show, so that was special.
That was special just for y'all.
Yeah. We're celebrating.
I made him learn 2 new songs.
Yes, I'm learning new stuff. I don't know if you noticed that
I'm
Mississippi
cracking
woman.
that part.
Mississippi woman, Louisiana man.
Yeah.